Very good morning, cadets. We are in the process of revising chapters, and in the last revision video, we had a bird's eye view about the total number of chapters, name of the chapter in the history class 7th textbook, that is Our Past Part 2. This revision video is for 13th January 2021. Today let us quickly revise the chapter number 1, that is sources to study history. Cadets, to study history we need source, because it is not an imaginary or it is not an illusion. Rather, history is studied on the basis of evidence and facts and figures. So from where we get those facts and figures, that is what we call sources to study history. So when we speak about sources to study history, major sources to study history: manuscripts, monuments, coins, and other sources. Manuscripts they are the written documents. Manuscripts are the written documents, and manuscripts generally in the olden days, initially they used to write on the palm leaves. In the later stages they used metals and stones and metals to write about any important event or occurrence. So based on the inscriptions or writings belongs to the past, we are able to understand certain facts and figures related to the past. That is what manuscripts. So manuscripts are the important document to study history. The second one, that is monuments. For example, when you visit Gol Gumbaz, Ibrahim Roza, or any other monument, for example, if you visit Taj Mahal, Humayun's tomb of Agra, Ajanta, Ellora, Hampi, Aihole, Badami, any other temples, for example. So monuments are the living examples. For example, when you visit Adil Shahis of Bijapur or the Gol Gumbaz, definitely Gol Gumbaz throws a lot of light about the Adil Shahi rule and their religion, the style of construction, the richness of the kingdom. For example, Taj Mahal is beautifully built with using white marbles. That shows the wealth or wealth of that particular kingdom. Apart from the monuments, we have coins to study history. Take for example, when you have currency or a coin in your hand, coin is not just a metal. The metal expresses many things. For example, if you take a coin and behind the coin, if the image of some gods, goddesses, or any other images are there carved, so it is easily understood that the king or that particular kingdom worship that particular or belongs to that particular religion. At the same time, if the king issued gold coins, silver coins or any other metal, that clearly gives example for prosperity of the kingdom. One. Second important, it shows about the knowledge of that time related to metallurgy. Metallurgy is a very important science. So if coins to be minted, there should be a knowledge of that metallurgy. And we have other sources. So sources to study history: manuscripts, monuments, coins and other sources. So quickly go through this. Manuscripts are written documents related to the past. Manuscripts provide a lot of detailed information to the historians. Manuscripts were collected by wealthy people, rulers, monasteries and the temples. Buddhist monasteries, the viharas, monastery, stupa belongs to Buddhism. They are preserved in archives and libraries. So most of the archaeological places, archaeological museums, you can see the monuments are manuscripts are preserved. Archives are places where the documents or the manuscripts are stored. So brief meaning of, so manuscripts are the written document belongs to the past. What they do? They provide a lot of detailed information to the historians. So that is about manuscripts. Here you can see the manuscripts, a person who is scribbling or writing manuscripts. Okay, so here this is a Persian manuscripts, written documentation. It is another example of Indian manuscripts, Devanagari. Now let us understand what are the problems of manuscripts. Okay. Manuscripts are, there are certain problems in the manuscripts also. So it is very difficult to preserve the manuscripts for a long time. I told you, palm leaves and all, it's very difficult to preserve the manuscripts. And it's very, very difficult to write each and everything, because writing in a metal or writing in a stone is not, scribbling in the stone is not so easy. So manuscripts got its own problem. It's a Asiatic society, one of the biggest society, that is archaeological monument, Asiatic society. Let us understand about monuments. Between 8th and 18th centuries, kings and their officers built several buildings. Kings built two types of structure. The first were palace, garden, tombs. The second type is for public activity. Now you should understand here, there are two types of buildings. One building is constructed purely for the purpose of public and another one for private. What is private? That is palace, garden and tombs, where the dead body is kept, garden and palace. Temples, tanks, mosque, well and bazaars, marketplaces, they are purely for public activity. So thus monument provide information about style of construction, prosperity of the kingdom and the religious background. So that is the importance of understanding monument. This is of course an monument, wonderful monument. Lucky because I have visited this monument, Kendriya Mahadeva temple, dedicated to Lord Shiva, constructed in 999 by King Dhangadeva of Chandela dynasty. So I already explained in the previous classes, and this particular part of temple is called Shikara. This is the foundation base called Pradakshin Path. Okay, this is a style of construction where the main deity is kept in the Garbha Graha or inside that. And Pradakshina Patha means generally where we walk around the temple. That is, in these kind of temples, it is very, very small area. If you visit a huge temples of South India, you can see the temple's construction is very huge. This is an example for another monument, that is Qutub Minar. Qutub Minar is a 5-storied high. The band is inscription see under the first balcony. So it is a tower actually. The first floor was constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak and rest by Iltutmish around 1229. So that is what related to Qutub Minar. And you can see one more, rather two more. This is a golden temple, the holy place of belongs to the Sikh religion, and this is a tomb, Taj Mahal, one of the wonder of the world, because you can see here the why Taj is very popular, famous, because of the rich presentation of this particular building. So the Mughal dynasty, even today why we remember Mughal dynasty, one of the reason is the monument of Taj. So that is what. So Khalsa Panth, Guru Gobind Singh, Golden Temple, this is also one of the greatest monument, but it is a monument belongs to a public, that means it's a temple. This monument is called as private monument, that's why. But private, don't think that only private people are allowed, it's not like that. It is done in a memory of a particular person, but this is a worshipping place. Excavations are nothing but generally in certain areas the archaeological department, they do a lot of digging work and they try to find out the remainings of the past. That is called excavations. These are all excavation sites. So it's a wonderful practice or a wonderful activity that monument definitely speak a lot about history. So monuments are the finest source to understand history. That is what we speak about monument. Now let us understand what happened in that particular 1000 years. Variety of development that occurred over a period of time from between 700 to 1750. The Persian wheel in irrigation, spinning wheel in weaving, firearms in combat. So what are socio-political changes took place? What is called socio-political change or social change and political groups? Take for example 40 years before, that means maybe by 1970s and all, BrahMos missile was not there. Today we have BrahMos missile, supersonic aircraft, jet aircrafts are there. So that is how today war, First World War, the time of First World War was not that destructive like Second World War. Why? Second World War was more destructive because of blasting of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So that is what the lot of technological revolution in the field of arms and ammunition. So imagine today the level of improvement or technological changes in arms and ammunition. A lot of socio-political changes take place. What are some changes which definitely made? That is, one is Persian wheel in irrigation. Persian wheel definitely makes transportation or lifting of water easy. That is what Persian wheel. Then spinning wheel weaving, and firearms in combat. Apart from that, some other changes there were beverage crops, beverage crops like tea, coffee. So this new food or beverage crops, they that is a new arrival. The food items like potato, corn, chili, tea, and coffee. All these are the very new thing. Then we also studied about Jati system. When society expanded, several new groups of Jati system emerged. If you remember the devotional path and divine, the chapter, in that Khalsa Panth, Sikh religion, is a new religion. Veera Shaiva, we studied about Veera Shaiva, that is also a new religion. So new religion, new caste system, Varna systems also started. When a society expanded, several new social groups or Jati system emerged. People were differentiated on the basis of their possessions or backgrounds. This was the beginning of caste system in India. Jati framed their own rules and regulations to manage and to conduct of their members. So these regulations were enforced by an assembly of an elders, described in some areas as Jati Panchayat. So Jati system emerged. That is what the new change which took place. We are referring about the 1000 years. We are also going to study about various kingdoms. We already completed, of course, the various kingdoms, namely Chola, Tughlaq, Mughals. Emergence of kingdoms like Awadh. If you recall the last chapter which I explained you, that is about Awadh, Bengal, Hyderabad, Jats, Marathas, Sikhs and Rajput. So the emergence of new kingdom, we are definitely now completed. So please go through all those topics. Emergence of Awadh, Bengal, Hyderabad. This is what we seen in chapter number 10, that is new political formations. New political formation. Cadets, do you remember why the political formations? Because of downfall of the powerful Mughal dynasty. Old and new religion. This is what we discussed in chapter number 8, that is Bhakti tradition. New religion emerged during this period. Merchants and migrants first brought the holy teaching of Quran. Quran, holy book. Muslims accept the sovereignty of one God, Allah. Shia and Sunni, the two cults of Islam. So Khalifa. So these are the later developments which we studied. Then thinking about the time and historical period. Regarding this, there is also a reference in class 8th, that is about Mill's classification of history. I repeat, Mill's classification of history. In the Mill's classification of history, what you understand, the history of British India. The history of British India, the history is divided into Hindu, Muslim and the British period. James Mill's classification of history, J.S. Mill's classification of history, they are not studying because history cannot be divided on the basis of religion like Hindu, Muslim and the British period. So what is the what division of history we generally follow and read? That is ancient period, medieval period and modern period. Ancient, generally the age belongs to the Stone Age period and early metallic or metal age. The medieval Indian history or the medieval period is what you are studying in class 7th. Modern history, that is what you study in class 8th. But here also, of course, there is an element of objection that the modern Indian history rather, it starts with the entry of British to India. So narration of history by the British here also, they considered that the modern period in India started with the British establishment of English East India Company. So today, of course, enough objections are there for this particular thought. Anyway, please remember the classification of history. What we study is ancient history, that is ancient period, medieval period and modern period. Mill's classification of history, Hindu, Muslim and British period. So this is about a revision of chapter number 1. So this revision video, please watch the revision video, because revision video make you understand in a better way what we already completed way back in the month of June. So this video is for 13th of January 2021. Thank you. Wish you a wonderful day.